Hey guys, today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a script with minimal to no dialogue or characters. For my college project, I have to make a script for my film. However, my music video I'm making doesn't actually have any characters or dialogue within it. So what I'm going to teach you today is how to make a script without dialogue or character. When that being said, let's just get straight into it. First thing you want to do is you want to write fade in. There's a number of ways to write scripts, a number of different ways, but I think this is really the best way of doing it. And I think writing fade in is just an obvious, you should always start your films with a fade in, unless you're going for a style without it. I'm using Celtic, which is really useful because it helps a lot of the transitions you use. Plus a number of people do it a number of different ways, so like really different ways, and this is a really nice way of simplifying it. Plus it lets you keep tabs on what you're working on, and it's free. You can work on a paid version, but I'm obviously not. So yeah, start with fade in, and then what we do is we want to click onto fade in, press enter, and then it'll move us on to action. But we don't actually want to go to action, we want to go to scene heading, because we need to write the heading into scene. For my scene, it will be about ink dropping into a tank of water. So what I want to write is INTI dot studio and N/A. Now you might be wondering, why am I writing this? Well, INT or it's EXT. EXT means outside, INT means inside. I'm inside of a studio, so it'd be INT. And this is the location you're filming at, and mine is just studio. But it could also be the location your characters are. But for me, I don't got characters. So it's just going to be studio. This is not going to change for my film, so this is the only time I'm going to mention it. And then we got NA. This is for night or day, but it's not applicable for my film, so I simply just wrote not applicable. So something you could be asking is, why do you need to write a script for your film? If your film doesn't have any characters or any dialogue, why do you need a script? Well, you do have other staff members. I had a number of people working on this video with me, and a number of people who were going to be working on this video still with me. And I find writing a script helps people to envision what I'm imagining for the film. I have a clear vision inside my head on what I want it to look like, but a number of people don't know the vision. I can try explaining it to them, or it'll be much easier to send like a PDF of the script the night before so they can read it and gain a good understanding of what I want them to do. It's just a really good way of visualizing your ideas. Plus, seeing like pen hit paper, you can notice ideas which didn't really work, so you can like fix any flaws. I just think it's a really good way on like evaluating your own work while making sure everyone on your project has a clear vision of what you're working on. So after fade in and then after scene heading, we want to go down to action. Action's really well. In Celtic, you can press the tab button and it'll change. So you can do character, transition, shot, a number of different stuff. But yeah, we want action. And that's because we'll mostly be doing action. The action is kind of just like what's going to happen. So for an example, I'm going to have black ink. Black ink flows slowly into the middle of the screen as it frequently glitches. So just a small little bit of dialogue allows my staff to know that I want black ink on a white background. It also allows them to know that there'll be a glitch effect within it, so we don't need to do the necessary requirements to have that. Plus it says slowly here, which means we might want to film at a higher frame rate. We said we wanted to slowly go towards the middle of the screen, which helps people to envision what will be happening. So I think this like small little bit here gives other people a lot of information. By saying that the black ink flows slowly into the middle of the screen as it frequently glitches out, you know for a lot of the for the most of it what this is going to look like. It's going to be black ink flowing towards the middle of the screen with glitch effects. That's simple. It also helps the editors or yourself if you're editing, because you can just look back at your script and know what you said and then have that as the video. It also helps if you're editing, because you can just look at your script and you can know what effects you want where. Or if someone else is editing, you can just look at that and they'll know what that you want and where you want it. The next thing we want to do is we want to go over to transition, and this is going to be the transition between one or another. For an example, you can do cut, fade, whip pan, etc. So for instance, I just want to do a simple cut, and then I want the next heading, which should just be like this. And see, this is already saved because of the software I'm using, so that I don't have to keep writing out the same headings. It just makes it so much easier. And then I'm back onto action, and I'll go over to cut, write that, and then rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. I'm going to show you a little time lapse of me writing it, so hopefully this gives you a bit more understanding, and then I'll go over at the end to give you a nice simple review. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, that's all I had. This is the entire script. The best thing about writing a script like this is that it doesn't need to be long. It also doesn't necessarily need to be good or consistent. You just need it so the audience, not the audience, you just need it so that your workers or editors and cinematographers know what they're filming. You have where you want it, the studios, the location, you have where you want it inside or outside, you have the night or day. That's the most important thing. You have the cuts. This is important for the editors. For me, it's kind of a simplistic cut, not very a long music video. When writing scripts, I like to be really descriptive. So for me, I like to talk about how the characters are feeling, how I want each scene to make my audience feel. I talk about here how the black ink acts as if death feels like death. This is because it's a skull and is meant to represent death as in its imagery. So I really want the audience to understand this. So by having my staff understand this, they can read it and then put that in towards the film. This gives a constant and clear vision of the film. I hope this helped you to understand how to make a script without needing characters or dialogue. And with that being said, I hope to see you in the next one.